This is Anu. My story had always been one of change, evolution, and progress. I was always trying to become better, closer to you, and more authentic. You have known me with various faces and different names. I started as an anomaly because I felt so different from everyone, until you gave me the name Anu, and with that, a place to be. And also, a place to discover and unfold all my feelings, talents, and character traits. But this is only the part of my story that you have witnessed. There's more to it than both you and me know. Do you know the feeling of remembering a time before you learn to speak? The feeling of time not existing, yet memories passing by? The odd feeling of, was there something? Maybe I should just try illustrating the things I remember. I haven't always been human. Before, there was this time that I only remember warm and gentle feelings about, when I was still a regular fruitbat. I was living in my cave amongst 250 others of my kind. The wind would howl through our cave, and at nighttime I would wake up and go on adventures. On this particular night, everything was the same, but would become so much different afterwards. Since I was hungry, I checked outside and decided to go out and see if I could find something of nutritious value. My favorite food were bananas and mangoes, but those were hard to get. I was flying into the night as I had done 1,000 times before. The moon was a beautiful crescent, and for me, it was as if you were taking a sunbath. I felt energized and happy. The pale moonlight helped a lot with scanning the ground for foodies. After a while flying around, I spotted something that I couldn't believe. There was this incredibly beautiful pond in the middle of this huge forest. It lay so silent and graceful, I couldn't believe my eyes. I landed on a stone plate near the pond's shore. There I found a pile of grapes, mangoes, and bananas. It was as if someone had been waiting for me and put out all of my favorite foods. After eating all the fruits, the silver shining pond attracted me, and my instincts told me to just drink from it. Shortly after that, heavy fatigue lay down on my eyes, and I fell asleep in the very spot I had been eating in before. From that day on, everything would be different for me. When I woke up after what felt an eternity, I felt heavy and very strange. My head was hurting so much and my vision was blurry. My hearing was very bad suddenly, and I had obviously grown hands. I was afraid. I fled. I didn't know what to do. In my panic, I fled to the city, but everyone was just minding their own business. I felt alone and singled out. I felt this was not the way for me. So I made a decision. I needed to find out what happened there in that night at that magical pond. And so I returned to the forest. When I arrived there, I heard voices. I heard a commotion, and I couldn't believe my eyes. The glade was so lively. The sunlight was sparkling in the water. The grass smelled so fresh. There were so many people hanging out. There were fireflies everywhere, and the spark of magic was in the air. I felt like I returned home. It was a green dragon boy who came to me and told me to just come with him and introduce myself to the others. I got to know so many amazing people. They introduced me to their hobbies. We were quickly becoming friends and always hanging out with each other. We would dance during the nights. Celebrate festivities. Cook and make desserts together. Sometimes we would also just relax. Of course, there was a little teasing here and there. But the most important part is that we always had fun together. This place was a blessing that felt magical. One day, our spiritual moon deer guide Sihu asked me,
"So, tell me, Anu, did you meet the spirit of this beautiful pond yet?"
To which I truthfully responded, "Who?" And everyone else was like, "Nani?" Nobody believed me that I didn't meet the spirit of this pond yet. They called him Fish Lord and were making jokes about how they were hanging out together and whatnot. And I was just sitting around. I was thinking a lot. I was thinking, maybe they didn't like me. Did I do something wrong? Why wouldn't they show themselves? I was waiting and I was waiting. Days passed by and they turned into weeks and those turned into months. And I never met them. And then I had enough from waiting. I wanted to take action myself. I wanted to go find them. I just didn't exactly know how yet. So on one fine day, I went down to the pond again. This was the place that had the most magical feeling to it in all the forest. I was staring at the surface of the sparkling water, and I felt like I was drawn into it. I had the same feeling that I had on that day that I got transformed. The moment I touched the surface, I felt like time was stopping. And then I got swallowed. I felt like I had fallen into the ocean, 1,000 miles underneath the surface of the water. And as I was sinking, I met them. A young person with blue skin and scales greeted me. They were wearing a kimono dress and had long, flowy hair. Sparkling magic and bubbles were surrounding them. They looked so friendly and seemed like they had been waiting for me for as long as I had been waiting for them. Internally, I was screaming. I had finally met the Fish Lord. An echoing voice, smooth like silk, was talking directly in my head. This spirit was an old spirit. They have been around for thousands and 10,000s of years, and they came here to spend the rest of their life in peace and freedom. The spirit told me how they had been waiting for me all this time. They told me that they weren't exactly able to meet me the conventional way like everyone else. A long time ago they had bound their spirit to this pond, from which I was accidentally drinking. To materialize again and be the guardian over this magical pond, one would need all the magical power, but when I asked to give the spirit powers back, they declined. They said that I would lose my life as a human, and they didn't want that. Instead, they offered me that they would spend the rest of the evening of their life peacefully as a fish in the pond, if I would be willing to be the guardian over said pond. I didn't want to lose my new friends and my new life, as much as I didn't want the spirit to suffer. I agreed to the trade, and they transformed all their magical powers into me.